All right, y'all. Before we dive in, a quick heads up.
This show is raw, real, and definitely not rated PG.
We're talking about adult themes, sexual content, and the kind of stuff you probably don't want blasting through your speakers at work or around your kids.
So grab some headphones, pour your drink of choice, and get comfy.
Oh, and just so we're clear, we are not licensed therapists, counselors, or sex couches. Sex coaches,
Sex coaches.
not sex couches.
We're just a couple of people sharing our lives, experiences, and sexy adventures, and ethical non-monogamy. So with that, pull up a chair and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Non-Monogamy. I'm Adam.
And I'm Pris. And babe, I've been waiting for this one all week.
Right? Today, I need everybody to stop what they're doing, put both hands on the wheel if you're driving, pull over if you have to, because this episode is not one you want to be distracted during. We have an absolute legend in the building, and I don't use that word lightly. We're talking about someone who has spent decades, not just living an open, intentional, sex positive life, but educating people about it. Someone who has been a voice for pleasure, for consent, for honest human connection, long before any of this had a catchy name or a subreddit.
Yeah, she's literally been doing this longer than most of our listeners have been alive. So, yeah, guys.
That's pretty freaking
And
cool.
she has never backed down, never apologized, never shrunk herself for anybody. I have so much respect for this woman.
Same. So before you go any further, though, I do need you to do a few things. Go to www.beyond-monogamy.com. That is our home base. That's where you're going to find every episode that we've ever dropped, video clips, blog posts, our events tab, our guest bios, merch, all of it. It's one of my personal favorites is that 100% Beyond Monogamy confessional. It's completely anonymous. You get something off your chest, just go drop it. Okay.
Yes.
And also subscribe, like, we're going to get into that later. I can't talk anymore because I have got to welcome our wonderful guest, Nina Hartley. Please welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you. I hope I live up to that fabulous intro. But it's always good. It's my favorite topic. I'm so glad that it's getting more airtime, that's getting more supported podcasts like yours, that more people are talking about it, more people are living it, and making community around this particular relationship style. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest with you. Initially, when I knew you from your film work, but we're not actually here to talk about that because as I learned more about you, I realized, wow, you are lifestyle full
You are
through and through.
amazing.
Thank you. No,
Lady, you have done so much for us.
thank you.
I
It's
don't
been my
think-
it's been my pleasure. You know,
You
it
know-
goes back to when I was before I knew what sex was. I never dreamt of him. I always dreamt of them. You know, room full of naked people. Yeah. And I was like middle school, and I didn't have the word queer then or pansexual or polyamorous, but I just knew that I wasn't like other people. I never dreamt of him. Like,
That's amazing.
and when I was younger, why do I only get all the movies, right? She has to choose. He has to choose. And I didn't even know what sex was, but I recognized, wait, the guys like each other. They each like her. She likes them. And I just knew that any one woman could easily take care of any two men. So why couldn't they all live together? I didn't see the problem. And this is way back in the Wayback Machine, right? So it's never made compulsory monogamy has never made sense to me.
Well, so I do want to go way back because what I found interesting was, you started in the swinging communities as a 22-year-old, which I found really fascinating because I've always said that it takes a major emotional maturity to be a part of this community and to do it well. Um, did you have any issues like jumping into it? Like, did you feel like you were right there? Was it something that you were kind of like a work in progress for a long time?
I mean, one of the reasons I picked my second boyfriend. So I've never been successfully monogamous. I've never been single. So I have, other issues. I've always overlapped relationships. So that's a whole other chapter, between me and Dr. Freud. But I was always the youngest person in the 80s when I was swinging. I was always the youngest person in the room by at least 15 years. Most swingers in that era were 40 plus. They had finally gotten around to swinging. And so I was always a bit of a unicorn that way. And I was living in a triad relationship from a very early age. And we broke up not because it was 3 people, but I picked the wrong 2 people. It was the relationship underneath was very toxic emotionally. But I was attracted to them because he was an out non-monogamist. And I met his girlfriend right away. She was very supportive. I realize now enabling, but she was very supportive and welcoming. And I'd always wanted that life. And I was too young to know that there were other versions of that life. So I hooked up with the first open couple that I met who were out as open. And I was too young and inexperienced to recognize any kind of red flags as to narcissistic abuse and all the things that young people are susceptible to. So but I never, ever, ever doubted the fact that I am not. So when I was 8, by the time I was 14, I'd seen the words bisexual, exhibitionist, voyeur, nudist, and swinger. And I knew all those apply to me. And if I was an 18-year-old now or 15-year-old now, I would identify as pan, poly, queer, kinky, and probably non-binary or agender. I don't feel like a girl or like a boy. I recognize I'm cisgender. I never wanted to change my presentation. I get that I'm a girl, but I never felt like a girl because I am child free and happy for it. Never had a moment's worry about, what have I done? It's like, no, every day I wake up without a child. It's like, yes, still a good thing that I don't have kids. Right. And I'm a child free woman who loves children, but I don't have what it takes to be a mother. And I knew that as soon as I was 14 when Roe v. Wade was finally ruled, and I recognized then how I knew already was very important. And I kept waiting to want to be a mom. Never happened. So they forgot to wind my clock at the factory, right? That biological clock.
There's a lot of people that are parents that shouldn't have been.
Yes.
And we wish that they had
The
made that
parents of
decision.
both of my exes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Our parents, we've always said like our parents should have never been parents. Like we come from very traumatic backgrounds, and so it was something that we've always said. It's just one of those things. It's like sometimes some people just need to say, it's not for me.
Now, I was reading a little bit about your bio. I know how you live your life, and you lived it like that very young. And apparently your parents were kind of very free-ish as well.
They were different. They were left-wing, politically active in the civil rights era. My father was blacklisted in 1957 for being a communist, and I was right before I was born. But that sort of threw his family into a different direction, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
And they tried all kinds of things in the 60s. They tried every variation of therapy out there, but the one that really stuck with me was Reichian therapy. And I discovered they were doing that when I got about 8. And that's when I heard the word body armor and recognized that I had body armor. So a lot of things now, because of the mental health awareness going on, there are lots of there's more discussion now about neurodivergency. I'm definitely neurodivergent for sure, as well as queer and kinky and all the things. And I recognize now I had alexithymia, which is not knowing what are you feeling. And so there's all kinds of information coming out now that I can backtrack and go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh
Isn't
my
that
gosh.
amazing?
It is amazing. I'm very happy.
I got diagnosed ADHD about 2 years ago, and
I was 60.
Wow.
And I told Adam, I was like, man, had I gotten diagnosed when I was younger, of course, my parents thought it was just actually just laziness. But had I got diagnosed back then, I could have been amazing. I was like,
Yeah.
You're so smart. Why don't you try harder?
Yeah. I heard that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
My parents didn't say anything about anything. They were too busy. And so when I was 10 years old, they found Zen Buddhism. And that was the savior of them. And actually, I'm quite grateful because of the time and place. They could have found Est, they could have found Scientology, they could have found Hare Krishna. They could have. I thank God they found Zen Buddhism because it is rigorous, but it doesn't permit proselytization. So they exposed me to it because I'm around it, but they never said you have to do these things. And I'm very grateful for that, actually.
What is that? What is proselytizing?
Come join our church. This is really great. You should come listen. Come to a talk. Come to just, basically what Christians are told to do, right? Go spread the good news, bring people to the church. What the Mormon missions are all about, right? So of all the religions, Zen does not does not recruit people. When you suffer enough, you find your way to Zen Buddhism. And until you suffer enough, it holds zero interest because it's very, very rigorous, right? And it is very, very, very personally demanding. And so only people who are super serious about their spiritual growth will ever do Zen in any kind of real way. That much I know.
Well,
I had looked into Buddhism, but I guess a lot of unresolved anger from my past that I found really difficult to like. I refuse to forgive certain people, and I was like, God, that's direct conflict of like I didn't think that I could take part in such a beautiful thing because I feel like there's still something there.
Zen folk are full of anger. So the thing about the thing about Zen, it's becoming aware of your own mind. So Zen meditation is not about clearing your mind or calming your mind or emptying your mind. It's becoming aware of your mind as a thing. So in Zen, so they talk about thought, feelings are like bubbles, sea foam, right? So popcorn poppers, pop, 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 pop.
Yeah.
So our brains make thoughts. That's what brains do. That's what they do. So thought, 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 thought. What humans do because of conditioning is take that piece of popcorn and that piece of popcorn and go, these are true. This is real. And ignoring all the other pieces of popcorn that might have a different thought or a different meaning. So we cling. So in Buddhism, suffering is caused by greed, hate, and desire. We cling to it. We cling to our identity as victim. We cling to our identity as better than. We cling to our identity as a successful CEO, whatever our identity is. We cling to it. So clinging to it. That is a state of suffering. So pain is inevitable. Suffering is what we do. Suffering is an action we take with our minds against ourselves usually, but pain is inevitable. We're gonna have loss. We're going to stub our toe. And so with Zen, you just observe. Oh, hello, mind. You can sit. So Zen meditation is called sitting meditation. You sit still with your eyes downcast, and you sit still for 40 minutes. You just sit. Now, when you know that there is a significant number of people who would rather shock themselves with electricity than be 15 minutes without their devices. So it is very, when we hate ourselves, when we are in a lot of distress due to our history, nothing is more painful than just sitting still and watching our mind do its thing. So you can start the meditation in a perfectly good mood and come out the other end of the meditation in a completely different mood. And all you did was sit still and see your mind, how it does its things, how our conditioned mind tells us about the world, tells us about ourselves, tells us how it should be, and how far away we are from it. So
that knowing who you are really brings you to where you're at now. I mean, it takes a lot of that, especially like say for me, a person who doesn't know how to meditate or never done anything like that. The fact that you started in Buddhism so young, that mind just kept growing into that positivity. And
it's not so much positivity. And my parents didn't make me do any of this, but of the philosophies, I like it the best because you don't believe anything. You don't believe in Buddhism. You practice Buddhist principles. So it's all about practice. It's all about mindfulness. So our body. This is why sex and sexuality is such a potent healing force because of the nature of mind. We can go into the past and be depressed about what happened. We can go into the future and be anxious about what might happen because our minds could be everywhere all at once. Our body is stuck in meat space right here. It cannot go anywhere. It suffers right now. So with mindfulness, you bring your mind into where your body is right now, meditating, walking, cooking. So if you're cooking food, just chop vegetables, just wash dishes, just do what you're doing and don't. So sex is great because pleasure is in the body. And so as we rewire or reweave our relationship to pleasure, as we claim pleasure for ourselves, I'm alone in a room, not hurting anybody. I'm gonna put my hand between my legs, and then all your shit comes up, all the fear, all the anger, all the distress of what happened, all the things, all the stories, all the things. And so your body wants the pleasure and your mind goes, no, and throws up all the things between you and yourself, right? You're in your body. You're trying to connect to your body, but all these layers of bullshit that have been layered on from the all the things, all the cumulative weight of our lived experience and our conditioning and our training and our being in the world. And we carry that around with us. Pleasure is a birthright due to anatomy because we're wired for it right out of the box. And we are trained away from that to make good boys and girls because Western, erotophobia and misogyny and gynophobia and all the things.
Yeah.
And so we are walking around in a wounded relationship with our own physical selves because of you have one reason for not being in your physical body. You have another, I have another. And so luckily, due to the nature of pleasure, it can only bring us to our best self. So if I just learn to be okay with pleasure in my body, with not hurting anybody, I will clear up a lot of things, right? Because as I'm touching myself and getting closer to orgasm, and then something comes up in my mind and I stop, I can say, that's this thing in my mind. It's not real. Right now, I'm alone in my room, not hurting anybody. And so you can start dancing with it and just using the pleasure to stay here. Say, I know you're scared. I know you're scared. I know you're scared. Stay here. Stay here. I know you're scared. And then you start, not images, realizations start happening and insights start happening, and the suffering lessens a little when you have a drop of insight. Oh, so you're not letting go of anything. You're not getting to forgiveness because they deserve it. We get to forgiveness because it hurts to be angry all the time. It's bad for us. It's bad for our spirit.
Right.
That you can go no contact. You never have to talk to them again. You never have to say not required. Not required. You don't need to forgive them or say I forgive you. And they don't.
Yeah. That's what I feel like that's what everybody says that I have to do.
Yeah.
They're like, "No, you have to forgive them, and you in order to feel better
But
about
it's
this."
so hard when you're
I'm
raised like
"Fine,
that.
So yeah, exactly. So I wasn't raised in a religion. My parents started studying Zen when I was 10, but again, they just did it in front of me. They didn't say, and you have to sit down and read these things too. You have to come listen to this person talk as well. They brought me around to places because I was too young to be left alone, but it wasn't like, and you have to believe this as well. But I see that, my parents' teacher said you must work diligently at your own salvation. So with Zen, you wake up to the fact that everyone's conditioned. And that's just, being conditioned is a state of being human. You can't avoid it. What conditioning you get depends on culture, race, class, gender, all the things.
Yeah.
But we are a creature of our environment, which is all the 10,000 years of culture that have shown this before this moment right now. There's been 10,000 years of culture, and here we are sitting in front of a screen talking across the country.
Explains why we're all so shitty now.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You made us shitty humans. I mean, seriously, especially when TV came. It's like you're
I mean,
raised around
everything,
it.
yeah. That I was raised by television.
You are,
Yeah, my parents, people talk about Generation X having zero supervision. I'm a boomer. I had zero supervision. My parents were like early, they were in a crisis in their marriage and their personal, individually, they're each having a crisis of being middle-aged in that time period and the crisis in the marriage. And they came to Zen separately and realized, okay, it did save their marriage. They ended up being married 63 years because they found something that they both believed in and could do together, right? And that's a whole other career. They're there 46 years before they died. So they really were fully embedded in the culture. My mother was the first woman leader of a Zen temple in America. So she's her own mucky muck. She has her own wiki page, actually, which is hilarious to me. But so my parents did not care for what I did, but they also did not make a big fuss of it. My mother finally, after 25 years of sitting on a cushion, she said, I was upset because you didn't do as I expected, but I realized expectations are my problem.
Oh.
And that,
you're a parent, you're a boomer child, you're from the boomer, and you're amazingly sweet.
Yeah,
Our parents were boomers and we make fun of them because they're such assholes.
I mean,
well, I never had kids.
They're the one now that
I never had kids, and I'm the youngest.
you are the smartest woman on earth.
Thank you for thinking so. But just
Period.
it's embarrassing to see how because there are a lot of TikTok and YouTube, of millennials talking about their boom, making fun of their boomer parents. It's like, oh, I do have a bag of bags. I do have a bag of bags because you never know when you need a bag. But I know I'm boomer age, but I'm not boomer minded. In some things, I'm boomer minded. How do you use this application again? How do I sync up my devices? But not being a parent has made all the difference.
Oh man,
Being child free has made all the difference. Are you child free?
we actually have 5 kids. We have a very full house.
So
Thank you. We're blended.
we're 4 years apart. I'm 48. He's 44. I had my first child. So I was told I was never going to have kids. And on my second marriage, we just, decided to just throw it to the wind. And neither of us were told, both told that we could never have kids. Him again and me never. And boom, I had my first child. I was 31.
Oh, so you still have kids at home. You still have minor children.
We do. We have 2 14-year-olds.
And we have 2, yes. And then I have a almost 15-year-old. And then he has a 26, not biological. And then 2 biological that are one's 19, going to be 20. And one that just turned 15. So all of our kids are the same age under the roof.
Wow. That's sort of kind of, they get on okay?
Oh, yeah. We've been together for 15 years.
Yeah.
The babies, we call them the babies, the 15-year-olds. That's all they know.
That's pretty great. I mean, I'm an auntie. I love being an auntie. I love being a great auntie. Again, I love kids. I knew early, I did not have it in me I knew I'd fuck a kid up. I just knew it because I didn't know about trauma, CPTSD, and all the things, but I definitely knew that I wasn't mommy material because I know how much it took to be half at. My mother really wanted to be better at this, and I could see she was trying so hard to be a better mom than she had. And it did.
You have no idea. That is exhausting. That and then being in the lifestyle and still living life.
Yeah,
fucking exhausting.
And
but at least you can leave your kids home on a Saturday night.
Yeah. People are like, oh, you guys are bad parents because y'all don't choose each other all the time.
Do you find that now? I have a question. So you're in the lifestyle. Do you find it hard to connect with people who are not parents or who are parents? Like, I know that you're in your 60s, but I'm sure that, you're smoking hot. So I'm sure that, there's these guys who like the cougars and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure.
That's always hot.
I'm not looking for relationships. I'm twice divorced. So for me, the sex that I have off camera is strictly sports sex. So it's not going to be at a party. It's going to be with an old friend. I don't go out and pick up new people. I don't have the energy, the bandwidth for that. And honestly, I don't need dick the way that I can't. So I
just became my
I'm gonna let you in on a big secret. I have been fucked. For me, and I don't need to fuck anymore. If I could give up intercourse quite easily because oral sex is where it's at for me personally. Blowjobs are no job.
Tears right now, like, oh my God.
No, so all these young guys, they want an older woman who fucks like a 30-year-old. It's like, no, I'm postmenopausal. I do not need penis in that way anymore. And no, you cannot show me a good time that way. And all the young guys want to be with me. It's like, honey, you could not, you would not last. You couldn't tolerate the hand job.
How many times have everything that she just said? How many? I'm 48. How many times have I said that? Like
all the time.
It's
And then
hard.
there's younger guys who are always knocking down the door trying to go, "Hey, I can really show you a good time." And I'm like,
Yes.
"No."
Can
And,
you?
my thing
Can
is
you?
I'm very confident. I know this woman and we know each other very well, and I know that there's nobody that can please me the way I can, but these guys, they really alpha it out.
They're watching too much porn.
What?
Don't forget. So I tell guys all the time, porn is, so people should know, porn is a weird amalgamation of monster truck rallies, WWE wrestling, sporting event, bad dinner theater, a little bit of a wildlife documentary, and a big old dollop of misogyny and sexism. I mean, just because it is. So young men are looking at porn where any woman in porn needs dick. I need dick, and you are it. Come fuck me, because that's the point of a porno movie. It's not about
That's what
Right.
makes money.
no, but because it's for masturbation, and in masturbation, there's no room for nuance. There's no room for subtlety. There's no room for feelings. It's just a visual thing that you get to look at. It's like popcorn. It's disposable. Porn's meant to be disposable. That's why even if porn stopped making tomorrow, no 1,000 people could watch all the available movies out there but it's always based on the new. So that is a indictment of our culture and the disrespect we offer sex and women and all the things. That's a whole other conversation. But the idea, because in our culture, sex education is such a weird non-thing, that people look at because the sex and pornography is real. It is a real penis. It is a real vagina. They are really touching. They don't know, because we have no media literacy and critical thinking in our country. They don't then stop and go, this is a movie. And in real life, your mileage may vary. So you get the guys who find you attractive and they're young. All they know is hard want in. They think you want that too. So it's taken me a long time to say in public, I'm probably not going to fuck on camera anymore. I'm doing scenes again, but not fucking. And I have to realize that if people are disappointed with that, I've done 1,000 boy-girl scenes. You can go find any one of those 1,000 scenes and have at it.
Have fun.
Have fun with the.
And I am, I grew up watching porn. I love porn, but I will say that the problem with it is it's that whole fantasy versus reality thing. And especially when it comes to the lifestyle and people coming into the lifestyle, a lot of these younger people, they know what they've seen on clips on
There's
on Twitter or whatever.
they don't see the negotiation. They don't see the boundary setting. They don't see the safety measures. They hardly ever show lube use. So it is a problem when younger people are coming into the lifestyle because they don't have a basis in sex education or sex positivity. Because there's a whole sex positive subculture, and then a bunch of regular people who want in, but they don't have the emotional bandwidth to handle jealousy and boundaries and emotional regulation.
Yes.
But they never pay for it.
Yeah.
It's like, if you want a guaranteed hot cougar experience, hire a cougar age professional provider and have at it, and she will give you that show. But in real life,
she'll give me that.
It's a gig. It's a gig. So if you want it for real and for sure, you hire a pro and negotiate that she's going to be the hot cougar and you're going to be the college sophomore, whatever.
Yeah.
They don't know that in real life, women can say no, but it's negotiation, and you have to be able to talk about what you want and hear what other people want, and then act within that. And that's never discussed, right? As a gender.
And it's not. Have you seen it change from where you started to now? Do you feel like we're getting women as a being? Do you feel like we're getting better now? We have so many tools now, more than you did.
More tools, but now the
media.
manosphere is bigger than ever, and so now people are being very much siloed. So men who are having trouble in life, instead of going to therapy and looking in the mirror, blaming feminism and women wanting too much, and the manosphere thing is 80% of women are going after 20% of men, and they want the 6-pack and the 6 figures and the 6 feet, which is just.
We saw a documentary on it.
Yeah, it's very distressing, and it's really very common. So the discourse around so Trump has made everything coarser, and Trump has just ripped the Band-Aid off the misogyny and the racism, and now people looking to say the quiet parts out loud and vote the quiet parts out loud. So now it's very important that you pick your community, right? There is on the flip side of the manosphere, I do run into people in their 20s who are already happily poly in some kind of group situation or a loose friendship circle. The men are more casually bisexual than they used to be. So there are two subcultures that I see emerging, and I don't do a study of this, but the classic bro culture that we see so much of, and then a quieter, more queer inclusive, green flag dudes who are just more able to talk about their sexuality and what they want, and then seek people who seek like-minded people and engage them in it, as opposed to trying to talk somebody into it.
Yeah.
It is, those people don't get much press because there's nothing there's nothing salacious about it. But happily living non-monogamously, there's, where's the tension, where's the drama, where's the story? So when you have a bunch of people spewing misogynistic hate, that is more of a rage baiting, that's going to get more views. It's important though that you keep doing your podcast so that people who are looking for a beacon of hope and for the community, their community, can find you. Right.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
Well,
really
and
important that people know that there is a different way to be than unhappily monogamous, or, someone once said, people don't want to be monogamous. They want to appear monogamous, because in our culture, monogamy still gets you social benefits. And so they don't want to. And again,
I mean, yeah, it's true. We have friends that don't want to have that label. Like they're just whenever or whatever, and it's like, no, you're non-monogamous. It is what it is.
yeah,
but it
yeah.
can
I mean,
still hurt you at work. It can still hurt you
Can.
in politics. I mean, so it's, I get why
The
people are.
fear.
Yeah. So I've never had a straight job. I don't, well, I'm going up for jury duty in a couple of weeks. I hope, hopefully I get recognized enough that people are going to know we can't have her, um, uh, it's just important that there are more ways for people to find information about our culture, the culture of consensual non-monogamy, ethical non-monogamy, polyamory, swinging, whatever words you want. I like a CNM, consensual non-monogamy. That's a big umbrella.
That's a big umbrella.
well,
Yeah.
so I never liked throwing ethical out there because it's assuming that there's a form of non-monogamy that it's okay to be unethical. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, like
So he
it's
didn't want that in
non-monogamous.
front. So
So I always like consensual
That's okay.
non-monogamy.
I'm very happy with consensual non-monogamy. That's what it is. It's I tell young men all the time that whatever's going on in your head, you can have the sex life of your dream with nobody being angry, sick, or pregnant if you do the work.
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't just happen, but if you do the personal work, you can find a partner who wants that too, and find a whole community who supports you in that. Or you can keep lying to your girlfriend, or pseudo.
I feel like it's easier and because I have kids of so many ages, I feel like right now girls are coming out more and being more free about it, or females are, than males. Like the males are still scared because some of us have raised misogynistic little assholes, and some of us have not. Our boys are really good and they're very inclusive, but I know that they surround, like people around them are not.
So
Yeah.
then so your boys may never do those things they would never, take advantage of someone who's drunk, but do they call out their friend for saying bullshit shit?
That's the thing, because
Yeah.
nobody wants to be called out. Nobody wants to have that
So
embarrassment.
it will continue until more
It will
men call
continue.
out other men, because men are not going to. No one's going to say, "Please stop raping us! Please stop raping us!" It's only because men only listen to other men. Men do not listen to women. Men listen to other men.
Now I'm going to remind them.
Yeah, and so until enough men go, dude, not cool, fuck, what the fuck, and are willing to stand up and hold that line, nothing will change. Locker room talk will not change.
Period.
To the guys who stay quiet and I don't like it, because again, you don't want to be, social pressure to act a certain ways. So I don't know what is required to change that, because again, I'm not a parent.
Yeah. It takes a lot.
It takes a lot, but unless boys change unless the good men who would never do those things start pushing back against the guys who say those things and do those things, nothing will change. And even more so in the right wing. The right wing is very homosocial. It's very homoerotic, right? Though men who claim to be straight, they will have intercourse with women, but they reserve their admiration and their love and their appreciation for men, and they only really like appreciation and admiration from other men to make them feel good about themselves, because women are still, not, they're still quite disrespected. I have some books I can email you some titles that will
Please do.
that will help. But it's really difficult. I don't have this chat is still not working. Nope. Okay, not a problem. I'll send it later.
Okay.
And a great book for your boys too, actually. That you will like.
I will love that. I mean, we are, my husband's very respectful, even in like, I say even in non-monogamy relationship, he has always been
I mean,
respectful of
even
me.
like as swingers, and I
Yeah.
was just talking about this with a couple that we were hanging out with last night, was that there's a lot of men that will call me over and have that one-on-one guy talk, locker room talk,
Bro.
and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck that one, and I'm gonna fuck that one tonight," and it makes me real uncomfortable because I was raised by women, and so that's very disrespectful, and so I sit back and I'm like, "That's not cool." Matter of fact, one of
That's
the
also
first
not how it works. It's not
Yeah.
how it works, baby.
Yeah, and
Women run swinging, baby. Women are in charge of swinging.
Yes,
Sweetheart,
he has always
darling.
said that. Yes,
it's
This
not all
is
the
so
way.
cute. You're just as cute as your boy. You just as cute as your boy. You're gonna go do this and go have that girl. You're
Yeah.
just so fun.
And, it's a chest thumping thing. I don't know if they're trying to show off for other men and this and that. I've always been one of those that I'm not alpha. That's not my thing. Like, I'm confident in my own way. I know I can take care of whatever I need to take care of, and that's cool. I can be myself. And that's why I'm so friggin' happy. But I think a lot of these guys, they just have this pent up, nobody's ever really noticed me, and so they're gonna notice me
the
now,
lack of
you know?
intelligence and the lack of maturity, you would think at even this age would be there, but it's not for a lot of men.
Men will
I
do
mean,
anything except go to therapy. Again, so you were talking about toxic masculine behavior is the conflation of not having access to your emotions with being strong. It makes you brittle and makes you fragile, as you have discovered in your own situation. I heard something the other day that I did not come up with, but I wish that men are not competing with other men for women. Men are competing with women's sense of peace and safety, right? Because we no longer need you for economic survival. There are things up with which we will not put. And
my friend was just saying that.
Yeah.
we'd rather be alone with our cats and our vibrators than deal with a man baby. There's a new word called man keeping, right?
Oh.
Which is just like it sounds like. It's a woman
Wow.
who is having to finish raising a man because his mama didn't do it. But all these guys who weaponize incompetence, who just are very hostile to their partners, and it's really quite distressing. Again, I don't understand heterosexuality. I don't understand being monosexual. That only one gender is attractive to me. So I don't understand monogamy, right? So I don't. So I can only imagine if I'm a woman who's oriented to I want a single partner of a man variety. I can barely imagine how difficult it is to find him, especially when you find out about the Rape Academy with all the hits that just when you see the deep, deep, deep misogyny that's baked into all the laws and all the customs, I would feel despairing too if I was a normie trying to find a partner within that structure when I only want one, and I want him to be faithful to me, and I want to be faithful to him, and I want only one. I don't know how, and then on top of that, whatever sexual trauma I have that makes it difficult, easy for me to become sexually comfortable with a person and all the layers. I don't know how people do it. Who want who are wired for a more conventional, traditional expression of sex. I don't understand it.
Do you live your Do you have a poly life? Is that what you would label if you have to put a name on it?
I'm gonna say non-monogamous, right? So poly, so I guess I'm more of a swinger than I am poly. I have lots of close friends, and sex with them is an option when we're together. But we don't maintain relationships. I don't send Valentine's cards. Um, it's I guess it's a friends. It's a friends with options because the benefit is not automatic. It's not like if I see them, we're going to have sex. But if I see them in the sex positive community, we can talk about where you're at tonight. I
That just keeps changing.
I
love it.
so I think poly is very what it means to me, what it means to you. So non-monogamous versus swinger versus poly. So for me, poly implies a more ongoing relational.
Relational. Yeah.
So with swingers, I don't talk to you between swing parties. When I say, "Oh my gosh, how you guys doing? Hey, what you in the mood for tonight?" And but in between swing parties, I don't call people. I don't talk to them. I don't say, "Hey, what you doing? Want to go to dinner?" I don't do that much.
It's just
So for me, it's just social. Again, I don't go to swing parties to get laid. I go to swing parties to help other people get laid. Right. So I'm the ultimate unicorn at a swing party. I'm here to help. I'm the manic pixie dream girl. I'm here to lay a great time on you. I'm a bit of a stone top,
okay.
meaning I do to others. I don't really need you to do to me.
Huh.
So women who say that I'm bi from the waist up, that's fine. I don't want you to eat me out. We're good, sweetheart. Just lay back, have a good time, suck your husband's dick while I eat you out. We're good. We're gonna have a great time. But that's just me. I'm
feel
not
like we all need a
multi-orgasmic.
Nina.
I don't
There's
come
an inner
easily.
Nina somewhere in here that she's just like.
I like helping. I like doing to others. I like playing with bodies. I like helping other people have sex. That's my favorite thing, is helping two other people have sex. I love running gangbangs. I love running trains. So the person at the bottom who's having the train can just relax and go there. And I'm making sure that boundaries are respected and safer sex protocol that we've agreed upon is followed. So I don't go to swing parties to get fucked. I go there. I personally go there to show other people a good time and to get and recklessly eyeball other people having sex.
Well, Nina, I wanna take a little sidebar there because you went into, like, trains and gangbangs and whatnot. This woman here, one of her fantasies is to do a gangbang, and she's been
No,
very vocal on it
I
that
was told that it's a train.
well, I don't know. I don't know what the actual label is.
So a
She
train
doesn't
is
want
one person after another first, and a gangbang is all hands on you at once. A train is
so you'd want one after another?
No, I'd like the gangbang.
All the gangbang?
so you can absolutely. So if as the partner there, first you find out from her, who does she want to be in her gangbang.
So and that's the tough part is that and this was something that she was gonna talk to you about, was that she's had difficulty finding men. There's not
That's
been a lot of really good
hard.
experiences, in the
Ugh.
lifestyle for her as far as
Nina,
men.
girl, help me out.
So in your swing community, so a gangbang is in porno land. A gangbang is 5 guys because the airtight plus 2 hand jobs. So first you get to figure out in a gangbang what are your boundaries, like nothing in your butt. What? So you just have to know when all the hands are on me. I know that this is not going to happen out of the blue, right? Whatever your fuck no boundary is, just know what that is. Then if you can find 3 to 5 guys who you have liked on other occasions, and so it takes a bit of planning, right? Because
Logistically, it sounds like a nightmare.
It's very challenging, but you can do
very
it.
challenging. So first, do you even know 3 to 5 men from your swing life that you would want to be there for you in that way? Can you name 5? Okay. Now, so what you do then is individually at your own time, talk to each of them separately. Hey, I'm planning gangbang for Christmas, New Year's, my birthday, whatever. So make it enough in advance. So it's not like next weekend. And to say, is that something that you could be part of?
7 p.m. tonight.
Right. Is that something you want to be part of, and if the guys know each other, that does help. If you don't have a timeline, just let it be known at parties that this is something you want to arrange. Are there any men who would like to do something like that with me? and see
Period.
who and,
Okay, I
and,
can
and
do that.
see who shows up.
Well, so we've noticed that there's a lot of men who struggle to perform with other men, present there or, with people watching or whatever,
It's so hard.
that's
How
a
can you
big
be a
problem.
swinger and not be exhibitionistic?
I don't know. We're total exhibitionists, so we're in the middle beds of the club in front of everybody, putting on a show, like, that's the way we get down.
We're gonna have you come over one night.
Yeah.
I want a Nina Hartley weekend, guys.
So I totally get because in porno it happens all the time, but these porno men are not like other men.
Right.
Because and that's why they can do this. And actually now I just discovered the other day that more men than I was aware of also inject their dicks, which make it virtually super easy to be hard because chemicals. So back in the day when I was making movies, your dick worked or it didn't work. There's no help for you. So the guy who could do that work was a certain kind of guy, a little bit misogynistic, a little bit narcissistic, a little bit sociopathic, and very self-involved, because a porno guy has to, on a good day, he has someone who'll help him. On a bad day, he has to do it all himself with her as a prop, against which he is working. So porn sex is super not sexy and romantic. Some pairings are better than other pairings, but the men are working very hard to stay hard for as long as they need to and perform masculinity, right? Because porn is very heteronormative. It's very phallocentric. It's very linear. And in real life, you do a little of this, you do a little of that. So real life sex, especially swinging sex, as you know, it's more feminine. You start some, you stop some, you may fuck but not come with her because you want to save your orgasm for your partner later. It's just more like what feels good right now. And in porn, we have a schedule, we have lunch, we have to get this scene
We have
shot.
lunch.
We have a life.
No, we're waiting in porn, the only thing standing between us and lunch is your dick. So chop, get to it. So porn is,
Goodness.
porn is so unsexy, it's so unromantic, and it's so industrial. That is porn.
Right.
But it's because it's a professional media product. It's not real life. So start with, get it out there in the community. I want a gangbang. This is what I want to do. And then if you're interested in being part of my gangbang, drop me, send me your email, and we'll start
the application process.
Yeah, first you have to leave a good review on our podcast, and then
follow us and Nina Hartley.
start the application process. So this is a process, because there can be some guys who love the idea, other guys who don't, and so they will not send you their email for the selection process. But it may take 6 months to organize. But once you have your team, you may be able to have semi-annual gangbangs. Right? Years ago, there was a group of young men on the West Coast called the West Coast Gangbangs. Now there's a whole gangbang subculture. Probably there in Texas as well. Actually, I will do some research for you. That these are men who this is what they do. Now, that being said, that group is often African American men, because there are many women out there who are looking to be gangbanged by Black men. Well,
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it wrong? I don't think it is, but I think our culture and our community might think it's wrong. If you are attracted, I'm not attracted to a lot of men. It's very hard for me to like.
That's gonna make it hard. It's gonna be hard to get your gangbang then if you're not.
I know, and a lot of our friends have told me this. You can't be picky, but I can.
You can be. It's your body. You can be as picky as you want.
This is my vagina. This is
Thank
my mouth. These are my hands.
This is not.
And so I know once they tell me that, they're off the list. But the ones who are very supportive, and I find that is really hard in the community, and that's why I can't find like certain people. Now, if I'm just in it for show, I need you to film, everybody has to be on OnlyFans, whatever, then I don't care. But if it's for me and not a show,
you get to care. You get to care. It's better to have the fantasy for 5 years before living it out than rushing it and having to go, oh man. So definitely you get to So start the process. I'm thinking I want to gangbang for my 50th. Right. So you have a 2-year timeline, and you'll just you'll just work your way through the process. No, you work your way through the process. So when you go to parties, you may find, there's a guy that works really well with you and your husband, and on a 2-for-1. So he seemed pretty cool. So he can go on the potential list.
Yeah.
The So first you get to have it. You get to have what you want. You get to have who you want. You get to have it how you want. You get to have it where you want. And you get to have it when you want. But because you are working with civilians and you're not going to hire 5 professionals who know how to do this, the timeline is further. That's all.
Yeah.
Because you have to work through people's discomfort about performing in front of other men. So some guys so when you go to go to your parties, pay attention to who seems really who's the first one out there to fuck in front of other people, who's the first one to let himself get his dick sucked on the dance floor. So clearly that's an exhibitionist.
Usually me.
So you're one of the
Nina, you're so smart.
You're one of the so you're on the team. You, sir, are one of the 5 guys. There you go. So you'll start. So with this goal, I'm very practical minded. So with this goal, you'll start looking at men at parties differently. It's like, because yes, bodies are important, but in a gangbang, the energy is important because you want none of the men freaking out because you don't want to have to babysit their emotions to make them feel safe enough to get hard. You want to be able to go, fuck and take me away. Calgon, take me away.
Okay.
So when you do get the gangbang, do you have any good girlfriends?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you want one of them to be your handler. So your job in the gangbang is just to fucking go there, and her job is to make sure that all safer sex protocols are being followed, condoms are switched out as they need to be, latex gloves are used as they need to be. So her job is to not be in the scene. Her job is to be making sure that all the boxes are checked, so you can just be the slutty slut having this amazing experience. And she's going to be the one to offer water. She's going to be the one to say, do you need some chocolate? Right?
You need some chocolate.
Whatever your snack of choice is.
I totally 100% agree. There should be one of those for every party. I had one once, and
no, they're very important. They just so that way the guys can just
hold dear.
So no one has to. And she, obviously she can tickle a ball here and there, but her job mainly is to caretake you. It's like a doula for labor and delivery. It is her there's no name for her. I'm gonna call her the gangbang doula. But the doula, her job is to make sure that you have the best experience and manage as an interface between your body and everybody else in the room, and gatekeep and make sure that the looky-loos don't get too close and don't touch you without permission, that kind of thing. So you can just go there and have that.
Oh, man. I'm so glad that we brought that up because, she's been talking about it for a while.
I have.
And we brought it up on the show a few times. And the thing is that I'm not a very good host of things. Like, I'm not good at events. Like, that's always been her thing. And so I'm going, logistically, this sounds like a mess. And I don't even know where to start.
Now, do you think, because now there's so many, I mean, if you don't mind me talking about the pill.
Okay.
So Adam gets hard easily. Like, it's not a problem. I mean, he and I have a beautiful sex life. Like, people would be jealous.
And I'm an exhibitionist, so
And
I
he's an
love to
exhibitionist.
perform in front of others.
Yeah. And so, but as he's gotten older and we started playing at the clubs and it's not very easily, he's very distracted by other sexy women, right?
So as an exhibitionist, I love to put on a show, but then as soon as I see somebody getting hot over our show, and then I'm all of a sudden I'm looking at them and I'm like, and things are changing. So I tried a pill, and I tried a pill. It's called Ro.
It's called Ro, R-O.
And it lasts. You take it as a lozenge, and it lasts 36 hours. And essentially, it's only when I'm aroused, it makes it larger almost and harder in a way.
You don't get this from a gas station, do you?
No. It's doctor prescribed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with that kind of thing because whatever helps a person be more relaxed in the situation, have more confidence. In the beginning of the Viagra era, I was like, no, I took pride in making it safe enough for my partner to perform. But then I realized, wait a minute, if it makes it easier for him to be more focused on what's going on than just his dick, I'm fine with it. So if any kind of medication helps you perform in a way that you like and also helps you stay more present, I'm down. I'm totally down for that.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's like part Cialis, part Viagra,
Mhm.
and, it works very well, and if I don't really need it, but
Yeah.
it helps whenever we're putting on a show, like, if we know that we're going to the club or we know that we're gonna be at a house party, we know that we're gonna have an audience, it just takes the mind out of it a little bit,
Perfect.
you know?
Go for it.
Yeah,
And that's like a lot of men don't they still have that mind that women are gonna make fun of them. There's a
Because
shame there. You
a lot of women will make fun of them. What? I'm not
and it's
enough for
but it
you. I
yeah.
mean, so
you see,
they
and for me, it's the opposite.
More
I'm
of
more
like,
for me.
I'm okay. I don't care. Like, be honest with yourself because you trying to shove a soft dick inside of me is just such a turn off.
It is for sure. So so you can be someone out there saying it's fine with me because also they have to remember it doesn't unless you're doing injectables, it doesn't give you an erection. It just makes it more able when you feel safe enough to expose yourself in that way.
Yes.
So if you are trying to shove, if your dick is not hard in public, you are not really a swim. My first husband was like that. He actually, it broke his heart when he realized he was not exhibitionistic. He was actually super introverted and he did not perform well at swing parties and he could not make porno movies with me. And he had hoped maybe he could. And so that was a real heartbreak, ego break for him.
Yeah.
Because he had a really nice dick and he had some good moves.
Wah.
I mean, and then the whole thing. So I felt bad for him, but he never, if he had asked me outright to quit porn, I would have kicked him to the curb and that's neither here nor there. So
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you're not actually an exhibitionist, the drugs barely help because
So I've heard
emotionally,
that
Right.
yeah,
before,
no,
and I
because
was
they
always
don't, again,
wondering about
unless you use an injection, Caverject,
that.
which is going to absolutely get you hard, even if
It's
you're in the
straight.
middle of grief, because it is a chemical direct injection into the um, corpus cavernosum. Um, your emotion should be part of your erection. And so men who really can't perform well, either in public, in a pressure situation with condoms, probably should not go to swing parties or just go to swing parties and eat a lot of pussy.
Yeah.
Well, there's some that
There you
you
go.
see, yeah.
I have and well, I've noticed that, and then I did recently, um, was with somebody, and he did 2 things that I absolutely love. He couldn't get hard with me, and he said to his wife, "Hey, honey, can you help?" Because that's what I do. In the very, very beginning, I would always be like, I'll help you." And so he did that, and I was like, "That right there was you." Like, you don't have to you don't have to try, and you don't aren't asking me to take care of you because obviously I can't. Um, that was one thing he did, and then I can't remember the second thing.
I don't know.
Dang.
I mean, I know that was the primary thing you were very excited about because that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
A lot of times these guys, they wanna pretend like it's not happening or it's gonna go away in just a second, let's just keep trying this, and it's obviously a major turnoff for her, and, it hasn't happened very often, but when it's happened to me, I go straight to her, and she's my security anyways, so it's like, I know that she can pull me out of that. But I know a lot of guys that they're just gonna continue on.
Yeah.
And pretend it's not happening. You can't talk about it. So the there's still a lot of emotional constipation in the swing community as well, because we don't have good role models for healthy masculine alternative ways of being. Um,
Yeah.
uh, so and also when you're dealing with our age category, right? It's just there. So people your age are on the cusp of the old way of being raised, and then the new culture. So it's the anti-sex things got into you early because you're old enough to still have been the way that we raised kids, in the 80s, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm barely old enough. If I'd had a baby from my first intercourse, they'd be turning 48 this year. So I'm old enough to be both of your parents, but I'm no one's parents, so it's not creepy.
Are you my mom?
I've fantasized enough about you to where it is very not creepy,
Do
like
you get that a lot? I mean,
I do. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of guys who are now in their 20s who, oh, I really want to fuck you. And I don't say this to them. It's like, sweetheart, you couldn't, you would die with a hand. No, you can't. Because they get, but what else do they know, right? They see porn and they think
Yeah.
being a
Yeah.
man is all about this.
Yeah.
And that all women want this. And then all the cougars, they want this because cougars seeking cubs and all the things. So if your only experience of age gap sex is porn, it's super skewed, a little bit shallow and sort of narrow, right? I can admit porn's not about feelings. Porn's not about feelings, which of course women in the real world do care about. So I tell people I'm never with somebody because young or because old or because black or because white. If I like you enough to be in your bed, I'm going to like whatever you have between your legs. We're going to have a great time. I do everything I can with anyone I'm with. What that actually is depends, but I'm never going to turn you down because you're 20. I'll turn you down because you're an asshole. And, do you like black men? I like men. If I like you, your melanation and your age over 18 doesn't hurt. And if I don't like you, it doesn't help.
Gotcha.
I don't fetishize race. So if you're an asshole, you're an asshole. I don't care that you're
Right.
a beautiful version of whatever it is you are. You're a jerk. I don't want anything to do with you. So
Yeah.
we don't tell boys this, that, actually, I tell men all the time, it's really important, it's a woman needs to feel safe next to you.
Yeah.
She needs to be next to a calm person who is a safe space, because if she's not feeling safe, she cannot feel sexy. Because in our culture, sex is much more dangerous for women. So if she feels any kind of weird energy coming off of you, anxiety, tension, expectation, barely controlled rage or narcissism, we're not going to relax enough with you to want to be sexual with you.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
it does. I feel like we also have to educate our women in that, because a lot of women are still, and they stay in relationships that are that hard, that don't have men like what I have, that are like, women empowerment, like, you do your thing.
but it's hard, so they say it takes an average of 7 attempts before a person to leave their abuser. And so my abuse was so subtle and emotional, it took me 18 years to leave, right? Because they were smart enough to never actually lay a hand on me. That would have been an instant deal breaker, but
Yes.
they weren't stupid. They were other kinds of things, but they weren't stupid. And so they knew,
Had one of each, so.
they knew that if I never said lay a hand on me, it's over. They just knew, and I knew, because but back in the 80s, abuse was only ever spoken of at that point as physical abuse. The whole narcissistic abuse it's only been talked about for 5 years. I mean, it's brand new in terms of a thing that we now talk about. They recognize that narcissistic abuse is, as often part and parcel with physical abuse, but certainly its own level of bad, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to do
I'm
this
kinda
again. We'll have to have
I'm
another.
thinking so, and we're actually gonna go ahead and wrap up, but Nina, before we let you go, if you could tell our audience where they can find you, what you got going on, how to support your work, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you so much. First, great conversation. We need more of it. The main places to find me online are Nina.live, Live. That is my safe for work platform. It's got my blog there, and people who want to just come and talk to me about anything can schedule Zoom calls, safe for work Zoom calls, and consult with me on anything. So at Nina.live, and Nina.com is where my video store is, and where I do there 20 hours a week and hang out. And that's where we can do naked things and, naked cam to cam and that kind of stuff. So Nina.com is
seeing you there.
Nina.com is not safe for work, and Nina.live is safe for work. And both of those places are where you can talk to me live. My Instagram is at Miss_Nina_Hartley. There are many fake Instas out there. And my Twitter handle is at Ninaland, Nina LAND. And there are plenty of fake Ninas out there. I'm not on TikTok. So if you see anybody on TikTok claiming to be me, you can report their asses, because I am not on. They steal, I can see it. They steal my videos and then say things, send me money and I'll call you. It's just such a scam. And
Oh my
I
gosh.
had to have a full-time person just going and putting out those brush fires, which I don't. I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. I'm not on TikTok. I do have a Facebook, but I don't.
I saw your Facebook popped up on
But there
people,
are
I mean,
lots of fakes. There are lots of fake Facebooks there as well. So I'm not quite sure what my Facebook handle is.
It's okay. We'll find it for you.
But when it comes to social media, I'm very much a boomer.
Guys,
I've
go
just
find it.
come back. I've started making movies again. I'm doing everything but what we call PIV, intercourse. So kink, femdom, girl, help two other people have sex, help you fuck him, help him fuck her, that kind of thing. So I love being on camera, but again, I gave it my vagina has given it the office, and I am postmenopausal, and the level of penis that I can take and enjoy is not camera worthy, because I like a nice 5-incher. Mwah, so nice. 4 inches, nice. Human size
Good
dick.
enough for satisfaction, that answers the age-old question that guys seem to wanna know is, does size matter?
For some women, it does. For some women, it does. So I'm gonna say 15% of women are true size queens. 7+ or don't even fucking talk to them. They're built very
Yeah.
roomy. That's what they like. They like a certain level of discomfort, intensity that works for them. 15% of women can take more than 6, but don't need more than 6. But, in the right situation, they could. That leaves 15, 30. That leaves 70% of women out there happy with 6 and under. Happy with 6 and under, like nice. So the perfect size. Yeah, I'm definitely the under 6. I'm definitely the under 6 crowd, because I want at some point in the process for you to be able to go hog fucking wild, crazy monkey shit, like fuck me. Sometimes I want to be nailed into the bed for 20 seconds at a time. But to do that, to really feel I like feeling all that masculine energy come in. For me, a penis is just a delivery system for masculine energy. And so I like a good deep injection. But for that, so what is good and deep for me is a different size than what is good and deep for her. And so I want a size penis that he can, if he wants to, just go full tilt boogie and not have me go ouch, right? And for that, ouchies, yeah, and we're done tapping out. So for me, for that kind of sex, it's 5 inches for sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, sorry, we got distracted.
Nina,
thank you for
Nina.com for not safe for work, Nina.live, safe for work. And I look forward to talking with anybody about anything.
hell yes, go and find her, follow her, and support everything that she's doing, because people like Nina are the reason that these conversations even exist.
seriously,
Well,
we are
thank
so
you.
grateful to have you on here, Nina.
Thank you. Well, we'll have to do it again sometime, and we'll talk about how you're
Yes.
gangbang planning. So just to think about, I'm going to get a gangbang for my 50th.
Absolutely.
And that takes the pressure off of, okay, because you can plan it. You can totally plan it.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
So before we close out, head to beyond.com right now. Every episode, every blog, video clips, merch, our events calendar, guest bios of the awesome Nina Hartley, and our 100% anonymous confessional are all right
That's
there.
a great
for
thing.
you.
The anonymous. I love it.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
And if you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that follow button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening. It's free and it helps us more than you know.
Yeah, and leave us a 5-star review there, because you know what? This show was freaking awesome today, and I loved it, so definitely.
And share this episode. Send it to your partner. Drop it in your group chat. Post it on your communities. If this conversation did anything for you, pass it on.
Yeah, and you can also catch us at Beyond Monogamy. We are streaming on fullswapradio.com, so go ahead and check that out, along with the cavalcade of other adult podcasters.
Yeah. And guys, and if you're anywhere near San Antonio, we want to see you in person. We are going to be at Club Eden San Antonio on June 20th at 9 p.m. Come hang out with us.
Yeah, details are on the site, the events tab, www.beyond-monogamy.com. Nina, thank you again. We really appreciate you. We friggin' love you, man.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for having me on. I've so enjoyed it.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
And with that, we thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.